The biggest waterfall on Earth is underwater. And somehow that is not even the weirdest ocean fact here. The water beside your beach is connected to things that sound completely made up. By the end, you might never look at the sea the same way again. Because the ocean is not just big. It's busy. It's loud. It's glowing. It's making part of the oxygen in your lungs. It hides a mountain chain longer than any on land. It also keeps secrets on a scale that makes space feel crowded. So let's dive into the fake-sounding truth. At number 12, the ocean holds about 97% of all the water on Earth. That means almost every drop on this planet is salt water, not in rivers, lakes, or your kitchen sink. The ocean also spreads across more than 70% of Earth's surface, which is why maps look so blue. So when people say we live on Earth, the ocean could honestly argue for a name change. The dry land you walk on is basically the planet's visible trim, a thin edge around the real main character. And that giant watery cover is only the beginning of how strange the sea really gets. At number 11, most of the ocean is still largely unexplored by humans, even now. NOAA says more than 80% is unmapped, unobserved, and unexplored, which is wild in the satellite age. We have broad satellite-based maps of the seafloor, but high-resolution detail is still missing across huge areas. In fact, explorers have visually seen less than 0.001% of the deep-sea floor. That's like seeing a Rhode Island-sized patch of a world-sized mystery and calling it progress. So yes, your phone can find tacos instantly, but humanity still barely knows what's downstairs. And the next fact is literally hiding right under that mostly unknown floor, waiting there the whole time. At number 10, the longest mountain range on Earth is underwater, not on land at all. It's called the Mid-Ocean Ridge, and it stretches around the globe for about 40,000 miles. Nearly 90% of that mountain system lies beneath the ocean, out of sight and out of mind. It winds across the planet like stitching on a baseball, except the stitches are volcanoes, valleys, and fresh crust. This is where tectonic plates pull apart and new seafloor forms from rising magma below. So the ocean floor is not ancient wallpaper. In places, it's a construction zone right now. At number 9, the world's biggest waterfall is underwater, not in the jungle or canyon. The Denmark Strait Cataract sits between Greenland and Iceland, where cold, dense water sinks beneath warmer water. That sinking flow drops roughly 11,500 feet, far taller than any waterfall on land. You cannot stand beside it with a rain jacket, a railing, and a selfie stick. It's buried under the sea, moving silently down there unless instruments catch the chaos below. So the tallest waterfall on Earth is one you will never see from a cliff. But wait, the ocean is also helping you breathe every single minute of your life. At number 8, roughly half of Earth's oxygen production comes from the ocean every year. Most of that comes from tiny drifting plankton, algae, and bacteria photosynthesizing near the sunlit surface. One microscopic marine bacterium, Prochlorococcus, is estimated to help produce about 1 in every 5 breaths. So the next time somebody praises forests and forgets the sea, the ocean deserves side-eye compensation. Most marine photosynthesizers live in the top 200 meters where sunlight still reaches easily. Which means an invisible green engine is floating above vast dark depths right now, unseen. And below that bright layer, things get gloriously weird in ways that feel completely invented. At number 7, about 3/4 of life in the deep ocean's water column can make its own light. Not sunlight borrowed from above, but light produced inside living bodies through chemical reactions instead. In the deep sea, glowing is not a party trick. It's language, camouflage, bait, and defense. A fish can flash, a jelly can shimmer, and a drifting creature can blink like a dropped star. On land, bioluminescence feels rare, but deep underwater it can be almost normal for entire neighborhoods. Which makes the dark ocean less like empty night and more like secret city traffic. At number 6, sound travels faster and much farther in the ocean than in air. Because water is denser than air, marine animals rely on sound the way you rely on sight. Some low-frequency sounds can travel across ocean basins, which is basically the planet showing off. Ocean layers can even bend sound into a natural channel that lets it keep moving for astonishing distances. That is one reason whale calls can be detected far from where they began originally. Down there, the ocean is not quiet at all. It's a giant moving speaker system. For animals in the deep, hearing can matter more than seeing because darkness takes vision mostly off the table. And the next resident of that sound system is so absurdly oversized it feels fake. At number 5, blue whales are the largest animals known to have ever lived anywhere. Not just the largest whales, but bigger than every dinosaur we know from the fossil record. A full-grown blue whale can reach around 100 feet, which is basically school bus math gone feral. And despite that size, it survives on tiny prey like krill strained from seawater daily. The ocean can support giants because it can carry them, feed them, and echo their calls. But size is not the only outrageous thing happening below the surface either right now. At number 4, about 3/4 of Earth's volcanic activity happens underwater, far below sight almost constantly. Most of it occurs along deep seafloor spreading centers, thousands of feet below the surface. So while people picture dramatic lava on mountains, the planet is mostly erupting where nobody can watch directly. These underwater eruptions help build ocean crust and reshape the seafloor in real time constantly. Some of them are so deep their effects stay hidden from ships passing far above. The ocean is basically sitting on a global zipper of fire that rarely shows its teeth at the surface. And now it's time for one of the fakest sounding facts of all in this entire list. At number 3, the ocean can contain lakes and rivers inside itself in certain places. In places like the Gulf of Mexico, super salty water becomes denser than surrounding seawater and settles into depressions. That creates briny pools and flows with shorelines, surfaces, and even wave-like ripples down there. So yes, there can be a lake on the seafloor inside a larger body of water. Some animals gather around these places feeding on bacteria that use chemicals instead of sunlight. It looks like somebody poured a second ocean into the first one and forgot to stir. Somehow, the pressure fact is even meaner, and it explains why humans definitely do not belong there. At number 2, ocean pressure rises about 1 atmosphere for every 10 meters of depth. Drop to 100 meters and you're already under about 10 atmospheres of pressure there. Reach 2,000 meters, and the pressure's around 200 atmospheres, enough to wreck any unprotected human instantly. Deep-sea animals manage because many lack the gas-filled spaces that would collapse in those conditions. Their world would crush us, but for them, it's just Tuesday before breakfast every day. That is why the deep sea can feel more alien than any desert on Earth. And the number 1 fact changes how you see the whole planet from now on. At number 1, the ocean is Earth's giant heat storage system, whether you notice it or not. More than 90% of the excess heat trapped by human-caused global warming has been absorbed by the oceans. That means the sea is not just scenery, it's buffering the climate every single day. It also moves water around the world through a conveyor-like circulation driven by temperature and salinity. Warm water, cold water, salt, sinking, rising, looping, it's a planet-scale system hiding in plain sight. So when you look at a calm horizon, you are looking at motion, memory, and stored energy. And that's the part that gets me every time I look at the sea now. The ocean can look flat, quiet, and familiar while doing things that sound completely made up. It's growing mountains, hiding waterfalls, making oxygen, glowing in darkness, and keeping pieces of Earth stable. If one of these facts broke your brain a little, there are plenty more where that came from. Tell me which one felt the fakest, because the underwater lake still feels illegal to me. And if you want another round of true facts that sound invented, jump to the next Zorp Facts video. Once you know this stuff, even a wave at the beach feels like a wink from another world.